Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This week, man, I just want to show you how I replace a guide. You know, if you fish long enough, you're gonna break these guides. If you got buddies like me that go fishing with you, they stand on your rods, they break them. So here's how I replace them. Now, I'm not gonna tell you this is the best way, the only way. It's just how I do it and it works for me. So let's get started. First thing I do is take the reel off. You gotta take this reel off because it's gonna make this process a lot easier when you go to do it. So right here, it's broke off in there. So I just get a knife or you know, something really sharp, and I'm gonna just cut that off of there, cut those threads right off. I try to be really careful not to get into the rod. And just once I got it cut, I just peel. You can just take your fingernail generally and peel the rest of that off of there. There it goes, I'm about to get it. And I'm gonna say, so there you go, I just peeled all those threads off in one piece. And I'm gonna say there's definitely a prettier way to do this, but for me, this is the quickest. I'm not cosmetic, I don't care what it looks like, I just need it to be functional. Okay, so I'm gonna set my rod, let's set it, as we're crashing. Let's set that thing about like that. That'll work right there, perfect. Okay, so right there is where I need to put the new guide. I carry just a box of guides like this right here, and anytime I break a rod, that's why I set this one out, because I know I don't have a guide to fit right there. This rod got broke and I'm gonna get one of the smallest ones off it, and I always just raid all my broke rods, if I break one, of the guide. So I'm gonna steal that guide right there. To me, that looks like about the right size to go. That'll go perfect. I need to finish taking all those off of that one, and then I'll put them in my little box. But so I just got that off that rod right there. So then I get my braid out. I just use 15-pound braid. It doesn't matter. You can use 50, you can use 10, whatever you've got handy. And I just get a little cinch knot tied, or a loop knot tied around there where I can get it down tight. And I'm gonna leave a pretty good little tag end, because when we get down to the end, I may need to use that tag end to close it all off. And I just do that right there. So now I can pull that tight. Get my knot tight there. So now that I got that tight around there, I'm gonna put a little drop of super glue right here where I think the guide needs to go. Take my guide, set it right here. I need one more hand, and then I just pull that tight, just like that right there. And I've got, be sure you get it lined up, and I've got it, it's lined up good enough for me. And then I start rolling. You're not staying where you're supposed to. Just made it a little tighter. There we go. So then at first I don't pull it very tight until I get a good wrap around it. Now I've got one full wrap, now I got two, and then I start putting some pressure on this line as I'm wrapping that thing. And the closer you make those, obviously the better it'll look. I just keep going in a circle. I've got my tag end of braid coming out the bottom of it. And when I go up and down at once, I kind of messed up a little bit. Let's go back up here and get this top part a little better. Keep rolling it around there. Kind of fill it all in. And then when I get back down here to my tag, I just tie me a square knot. Like I said, this works for me. I'm not saying it's the end all fix all. Let's see, I got another cutter. I can tie me like a half hitch right here. And then tie me a half hitch going the other direction. Tie a little square knot with that tag end. You guys might find a fancier, better way to do it. But again, guys, for me, this is about getting it done and getting it done quick. and going back to fishing. I cut all that off as close as I can cut it. And then I just take my super glue, and I use this super glue that's a gel. So you can kind of just move it all around. It kind of stays pliable. I just put a little bit of super glue on it, put it over my knot. And that's how I replace my guides. I don't do anything else. I don't use epoxy. I don't roll it. Literally now in about 2 minutes, that thing's gonna be fixed, and I can string line back up through there, and I'm back to fishing. You know, it may not match my rod, but that thing's gonna be on there for a long time to come. And if you guys ever watch me fishing when I'm out there fishing, you'll see I got a lot of green braid around my guides, because, you know, people step on them, accidents happen. You might hit your buddy in the head like I did Ott in that video the other day. But, you know, just bust your guides up, and that's a really quick way to fix it. That's how you replace a guide, you know, if you completely broke it. If somebody stepped on it, whatever happened, when that foot's broke. But let me show you one other thing that I'll do if the guide's not broke. So many times, you know, in my career, I'll have a guide that just comes out. And you can look on this rod right here. I've replaced 2, but right here, I've just got a few little wraps on it. Well, that guide just wasn't staying in there, you know? So what I did was I just didn't take anything off. I pushed that guide down in there as far as I could, then I wrapped it really tight with braid around there and put a little drop of super glue, and that guide hadn't fallen out since then. So, you know, don't always take all the old threads off if your guide's just popping out. You know, sometimes they just pop out, and you can stick them right back in there. You can put a little hot glue on them, a little super glue, and then add a few rounds of your braid on there. And that's a really quick way to fix it, you know, if it's just popping out. But man, so that's how I fix my rods. It may not be pretty, but it's very efficient, very quick. I'm back on the water fishing really quick, and it works for me. I'm gonna have a cutaway here of all the stuff that I carry and that I use. That gel glue I think is important, but it's just a quick fix for your rods, guys. Man, I hope it helps the next time that happens to you. And leave a comment below. Be sure to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and tune in next week for Project E coming out Tuesday.